Hello friends! Welcome to day 11 of my 12 Days of Christmas video series. We are so close to the end and I can't believe it. In today's tutorial, we're going to be taking a tutorial I made a little while ago and kind of revamping it a little bit and making it Christmas. So I hope that you enjoy. It was really fun to do and very easy to put together, and you can do this with any type of theme. Doesn't have to be Christmas, you can do it for anything. So if you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below too. Everything I'm using is linked down below in the description box, as well as some discount codes for you. And I've also got links to all of our social media pages, our Facebook group, Patreon group, all of that fun stuff is down there for you, as always. Okay, I hope you enjoy the video. Let's go! We're going to start with a 20-ounce skinny straight from Craft Haven, and we're going to start by splitting our cup in half. So I've got my cup laying in my cup cradle here, and I'm just taking some blue painter's tape and laying down a straight line down the cup. I am going to take my ruler here and just make sure that my line is straight. I'm glad I did this because my line was not straight. So I drew my little pencil line here and then readjusted my tape to make sure that it was straight up and down the cup. You really want to take the extra time to make sure that your lines are straight, because in the final design, it is going to make a difference. So just take the extra step and make sure that your lines are as straight as can be. So I'm going to lay that piece of tape down again on the straight line that I drew, and then I'm going to go all the way down onto the bottom of the cup, because in this design, I'm not going to finish off the bottom how I normally would with just one solid color. I'm going to continue the split on the bottom of the cup. So I did that straight line and then repeated the process on the other side of the cup so that we have straight lines on both sides. We're going to start by doing the red side of our cup. So I'm going to use some spray paint for the base for this. I'm using Soviet Red from Montana Colors, and I'm going to do a nice coat of that, let it dry about an hour, and then I'm going to go in with my tried and true Crystalac glitter glue. And I applied way too much to the cup. You do not need that much. I just squirted out too much. So you just need a tiny little bit, a very, very thin layer, especially because we're only doing one solid glitter color. I'm going to use Scorpion from PDB. It is the perfect fine cut red. It's definitely a must-have for your arsenal. And I'm just going to cover the entire half of this cup with Scorpion. Oh, it's so pretty. I love her so much. Just make sure you have good full coverage, shake off any excess, and then we're going to let that dry at least 2 hours. Before it dries though, I am going to go in and remove all of my tape. If you forget, or if you want to wait until after your glitter glue is dry, you can remove your tape then. It shouldn't pull up any of your glitter or paint. I just like to do it before it dries to be safe. Once that layer of glitter glue has dried and my red is sealed, I'm going to take some blue painter's tape and tape off that red glittered section so that I can do the green side. I'm using green acrylic paint as both the base color and the adhesive for my green glitter, so I'm just going to do one pretty solid coat of base paint so we get good coverage and that we have enough that our glitter is going to adhere to the cup. We're going to be using Taurus from PDB for this green side. It's the perfect fine cut green for Christmas. Notice that I used both glitters of the same cut. So I didn't want to use like a chunky and a fine, or like a fine and an extra fine. I wanted my glitters to be the same side to make this as seamless as possible. Even though they're two separate colors, I wanted the size and textures of everything to be the same, if that makes sense. So once I'm done glittering, I'm going to shake off any excess and then immediately remove that tape. Oh, it's so satisfying. And then I'm going to let this sit and dry just about, I think I waited an hour, hour and a half. And I'm going to go in and now seal this side with the same Crystalac glitter glue, just doing a pretty solid layer. I'm finally to the end of my first bottle, but I've gotten a ton of cups out of this first bottle of glitter glue. So if you don't have it, you know that I definitely recommend it. So after that sealer layer dried at least 2 hours, I went in with my first 2 coats of epoxy. This first coat is 30 milliliters, and the second coat I added was about 15 to 20 milliliters. You want to get your cup as smooth as can be with epoxy so that you don't have to do a ton of work sanding. While my second coat is curing, I'm going to work on the Jolly decal that we're going to add to the seam. And I went over this a little bit more in detail in my Be Happy split tutorial that I did a while back. I will have that linked up in the corner up here, so you can click on that, watch it if you want a little bit more information as to how I'm getting this accomplished. So what I did was design a decal in Silhouette Studio. It will be available in my Etsy shop and available for free to members of my Patreon group. But I cut a regular decal out, that's the white, an outline, which is the gold, and then I have my red and green sides that we're going to reverse and put on the opposite side. And I have a layer of double-sided adhesive right over that vinyl that I placed. The colored vinyl is going to be like our base color, and then the double-sided adhesive is what we're going to use to apply the glitter to the letters. So we've got our white piece here, which is going to be basically just the guide to help us place the glitter letters down and make sure that everything gets lined up correctly and that it actually looks the way it's supposed to. And then we have the gold outline. This is champagne gold textured metallic vinyl from Tech Wrap Craft. I also cut out the side striping for us to add before we add all of the letters. And this is just a very thin outline to help define the letters a little bit more. And then here are the actual glitter letters. I had to go back and cut these again because my depth wasn't deep enough when I cut it. So weeding it was a nightmare. And the second time I cut it, I ended up cutting everything out with my craft knife anyway because it still wasn't deep enough. So make sure that you cut on a setting that is going to cut through both your double-sided adhesive and your vinyl. So you'll want to cut probably on like the cardstock setting or something else kind of around that depth. One alternative too is to just glitter your vinyl before you cut it out on your Silhouette or Cricut. I've never done that before. I'm definitely going to try it the next time I make a cup like this though, because I want to know which way's easier. But anyway, we've got our double-sided adhesive on this one, so I'm going to pull back the protective layer to expose that other side of the adhesive and then go in with my red glitter. We're using the same glitters that we used on the cup, obviously. So I took Scorpion for the red and I just applied that all over the letters. And now I'm going to take a small little piece of parchment paper and just kind of tap down that glitter to make sure that it's really stuck on there. And then I'm going to just get rid of all of that excess glitter. Now the backing of this vinyl is kind of, it's got like a little static to it, so it's going to hold on to all of that excess glitter, but I'd rather have it stuck on the backing than stuck on the cup. So I'm glittering everything before I put it on the cup to make sure that this looks as clean as possible. I'm going to repeat the same process with the green side using Taurus, and then once I've got the glitter on these letters, I'm going to spray seal them with matte clear spray from Rust-Oleum. And I did 2 coats of that sealer and I waited about 20 minutes in between each one. So what I'm going to do next is sand down my rim. I'm really going to pay attention to that top rim, do a little bit of sanding on the body of the cup, but it didn't really need very much. So now what I'm going to do is add my gold side striping. I'm putting 1 stripe on either side of the cup where the red and the green meet up, and I'm going to bring the vinyl all the way down onto the bottom of the cup and meet the 2 sides together so we have one continuous gold line all the way around the cup separating the 2 glitter sections. I did a thin coat of epoxy to give us a smooth surface over that vinyl striping, so now we can go in and place the rest of our decals. Before I place my glittered letters, I'm going to put down this white template or stencil guide vinyl. This is totally optional. If you feel confident going right in with your glitter split letters and you feel like you can place them correctly, you don't have to do this step. I just wanted something to help me place them in the right spot. So once I've got that down, I'm going to take my tweezers and just place these glitter portions by hand, piece by piece. And it's really easy when you have this guide, you just put the puzzle piece in the spot, basically. So I'm going to do that all the way down with the green sections, and then I'll do the exact same thing on the other side with the red glittered letters. Once I've got all of my glitter letters placed down, I'm going to place the outline in the same champagne gold metallic that we cut the striping out of. And this is really going to help our word stand out and really be the main focal point of this cup design. So I'm placing these one by one as well, just using transfer tape. These go right on, and what's great about this textured metallic vinyl is that any imperfection underneath, you can't even see it, it's just smooth. So once I've got all of my letters on, I'm going to go right into my final coats of epoxy. This first coat over my decals, I did 30 milliliters. And when I first applied, I stopped my turner, made sure I got right into all of those nooks and crannies where I placed this decal. I want to get this as smooth as possible, so I'm really focusing a lot of application here, and then I covered the rest of the cup. Hit it really well with my torch to pop any bubbles, and this cup is actually going to need probably 2 more coats before it's finished to get it totally smooth, but this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. So that's it for this tutorial. I really hope that you enjoyed it. This is so classic Christmas to me with the red and green, and I really hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed to our channel so you don't miss any new videos. We have one more video left in the 12 days of Christmas, so make sure you come back tomorrow for the finale. Okay, love you. Bye.
Oh man. I talked so fast.